पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. Am I audible? Okay. How many of you have ever experienced any misfortune in your life? Raise hands. Okay. Generally, when people get something which don't they are not wanting, or apparently if some calamity comes in life, people consider that as misfortune. What are various ways misfortune can come? Can somebody say what comes to your mind? When we say misfortune, what comes to your mind? Yes. Accidents. Terrible accident. Okay, one. Thank you. Job layoff. One lose a job. Great misfortune. Yes. Disease and sometimes terminal disease. Misfortune. Yes. Financial crisis. One becomes bankrupt. Yes. Natural calamities. Earthquake, tsunami, sometimes pandemic. No. Big calamity. Yes. Loss of loved ones. Yes. Big calamity. Yes. Anything else? Hmm? So more or less, these are the general things comes to our mind when we think of misfortune. Like becoming bankrupt, losing position in society. Sometimes relationship crisis, divorce, big misfortune. Or sometimes defamation. Sometimes one unnecessary get accused of uh, wrongdoings when he is not at guilty. Death of loved ones, some terminal disease, or even death. So, does anyone want misfortune? Hmm? No. And do misfortune fall upon us? Sometimes. Yes. There is one beautiful story. One time, there was one farmer. He had a beautiful farm and then big courtyard, big house. And one night he forgot, and that his farmhouse was just neighboring a jungle. One time he forgot to close the door of his compound wall. Next day morning when he got up, he saw very beautiful, young, powerful horse has entered his compound. And then he was eating grass and other things in his this thing. And then he very nicely took care of him, fed him nice grass. And all. And then that horse started staying there only. In the evening, his farmer's friend came as usual to visit the farmer. And the friend saw a very beautiful horse. So they asked, where did you get this horse? How much did it cost? He said, no, actually, yesterday night I just forgot to close my compound wall, and gates of the compound wall. Maybe from just nearby jungle, some wild horse just came in. And I fed him some grass and other things, and he just happily stayed. They said, oh, what a great fortune. No? You are really very fortunate. You have got freely this beautiful horse. He said, I don't know whether fortune or misfortune, but anyway, now I have got this horse, he's there, and I'm taking care of it. After few days, a week or so, it so happened that again this farmer forgot to close the compound gate, gate of the compound wall. And next day morning when he got up, he saw actually there is no horse. Maybe horse had gone away. Then that evening again, his friends came. And when they saw there was no horse, they asked, where is the horse? He said, actually, unfortunately, again, I forgot to close the gate. And it so happened that horse ran away. They said, oh, what a misfortune. No? You lost such valuable horse. He said, I don't know whether it's fortune or misfortune, but anyway, I have lost that horse. He has gone away. And then again, after a few days, it so happened when this farmer got up in the morning, he saw in front of the gate there were practical dozen horses. And then he opened the gate, and that horse which had gone away, he entered the gate, and along with him, all other dozen horses entered. Then he understood, oh, this horse had gone to jungle, and he called all his friends, because he got a wonderful experience here. So he invited his friends. So now he had a dozen horses, and then this farmer started taking care of all these dozen horses. Mm. That evening, again, his friends came, and when they saw a dozen horses, they were amazed. They said, "Where do you get these horses from?" He said, "No, other day, as you know, this horse went away. He went to jungle and he got his friends. So now I have a dozen horses, and I'm taking care of it." He said, "Oh, what a fortune! You have now dozen horses." He said, "I don't know whether it's fortune or misfortune, but anyway, now I have this dozen horses. I'm trying to take care of them." Mm. After some days, this farmer was thinking that I have to train these horses, because these are wild horses, they need to be trained. Mm. And then he and his son, they were trying to train them properly so that they can work with humans. And it so happened when this son was sitting on the horse and trying to train horse, one wild horse jumped so all of a sudden that the son of farmer fell from the horse, and he broke his bones. Finally, then he had to be mm, bedridden. His leg got plastered, and he had to take rest. So that evening, his friends, farmers' friends, came and they saw, "Arey, farmer's son is bedridden. His one leg is fractured," and they asked, "What happened?" He said, "Actually, somehow my son was trying to train horse, and that horse jumped so abruptly that my son fell down from the horse and he broke his bones." They said, "What a misfortune, Mhm. Your son broke his bones." The farmer said, "I do not know the fortune or misfortune, but anyway, my son has broken his bones, and now he is being treated, and we hope he will recover after some time." And after a few days, it so happened that neighboring king attacked that kingdom, and because the neighboring king attacked kingdom with a huge army, the king of the country, mm, he was concerned. So immediately he sent his minister to recruit all the young boys, young mm, people in the country, in the army. So ministers came, army people came in the village, and all the young boys, they were drafted in the army. They were recruited in the army, and they were forcibly taken for war. But when they saw this farmer's son, he was young, but his leg was broken. So they thought he is useless for fighting in the war. So they did not take him. Whereas other farmers, their children were, taken to the war. And then other day evening, when farmers came, they saw, "Hey, this farmer's son is still there. We lost our son." Means our sons were drafted in the army. They were taken by the soldiers, king, for fighting, and they were worried. Now they don't know whether their son will come back alive or dead. Hmm. And when they saw this farmer's son, they said, "Oh, what a fortune! Your son is at home. He was not forcibly taken in the war." He said, "I don't know whether fortune or misfortune." So in this world, we see that what is fortune and what is misfortune. We can't say something which we think today, "Oh, I'm so fortunate." Later on, we lament, "Oh, what a misfortune," isn't it? And sometimes we think something is misfortune. Later on, we may think, "Oh, it was really great." How many of you have ever such experience in life? Hmm? So, because this world we live in is actually world of dualities. Dualities means in this world there is nothing in one sense absolute. Absolute means this is only fortune or this is only misfortune. Nothing is absolutely fortune or misfortune. So, real fortune will depend especially how we respond to the situation. Like if some apparent misfortune comes or what else to happen, actually, how we respond to that situation makes us more fortunate or more unfortunate. Whenever anything happens in life, maybe things especially that we don't want to happen in life, when those things happen, we have two options. One option is when things happen against our will, one option is we can become angry. We can become bewildered, confused. We can start blaming others. We can start criticizing others. We can start lamenting. We can become depressed. We can text to maybe drinking, smoking, alcohol, or drugs just to forget the pain. We can do all these things, isn't it? So this is one option we have. Mm. However, if we take to this option, what will happen? Our misfortune will increase. We'll go for deeper in ignorance. Another option is, what is another option? When some things happen which we don't like or which we don't want. Another option is we can turn to God. We can see it as mercy of God. We can take shelter of God. We can pray to God. And well, we can even express our gratitude to God. If we are able to do this, if we are able to see the situation that has happened in our life, accept God, take shelter of God, then actually, whatever situation we may be in, that situation can transform into fortunate situation. So we see in Srimad Bhagavatam so many situations which we apparently consider unfortunate. But we see Srimad Bhagavatam, many people undergoing those so-called unfortunate situations, but they are transforming those unfortunate situations to fortunate situations. Famous example of is Maharaj Parikshit, who was grandson of Pandavas, who became the emperor after Yudhishthira Maharaj. And he was a great personality. But all of a sudden, he was cursed to die within 7 days. He was young, powerful, very intelligent. And he had power to counteract the curse also. But he did not use that power. He just then he made his son as the next emperor, and he left the kingdom and went to banks of Ganga. And he decided to fast until death. And hearing the news that Parikshit is about to leave the body, so many saintly people came there. And when saintly people came, Parikshit asked from them. He did not ask that, my dear, oh saintly people, save me from death. And he did not ask that also, that please bless me that don't take birth again also. He just asked, Punasya bhuyad bhagavati anante rati prasangastadashreshu masuyamyamupyami shrishtim maitrastu sarvatra namo dvijebhya. He said, my dear saintly people, please bless me that I can have attachment to Supreme Bhagavati Anante Rati. I can have attachment to God. I can have association of those who are attached to God. And I can have friend relationship with everyone. Because he wanted association of saintly person. Naturally, by Krishna's saint appeared there. His name was Sukdev Goswami. And when Sukdev Goswami appeared there, Parishit Maharaj inquired from Sukdev Goswami that, my dear Sukdev Goswami, can you please tell me what is the duty of every person? And especially, what is the duty of person who's about to die? And then Parikshit Maharaj explained, uh, Sukdev Goswami, son of Vyasadeva and great saint, he explained what is the duty of every man in general and especially man who is about to die. What is duty? He said, Tasmat Bharat Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishwaro Hari Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha Smartavya Cha Ichita Bhayam. Duty of everyone is to Shrotavya. Always hear about Krishna, God. Kirtavya. Always speak about God, Krishna. And Smartavya. Always remember God. Because if you hear about God, speak about God, remember God, then you can be free from all fear and you can be free from death as well. We can transcend death and achieve amaratva. We can achieve immortality. So therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam says, what is a real fortune? Real fortune is if we are able to remember God. Because in Bhagavad Gita also says, Yam Yam Vapi Smaram Bhavam Tejante Antkalavar. If you are able to remember God, and even when you die, will achieve perfection in life. Mm. And if you remember God, all inauspiciousness will go away. Mm. When all auspiciousness will come. And this remembrance of God happens when we are surrounded by saintly people, devotees. So, what is real fortune? Real fortune is to actually remember God, Krishna, to be an association of devotees. And anything that takes us closer to God, Krishna, is a great fortune. And what is real misfortune? If you forget God, and if something that takes us away from God, that is misfortune. Therefore, in Srimad Bhagavatam, we see mother of Pandavas, Queen Kunti. mm, She prays to Krishna after Yudhishthira Maharaj becomes king, emperor of the whole world after battle of Kurukshetra, and after coronating Yudhishthira Maharaj and everything. When Krishna was about to depart to Dwarka, Kunti came and offered, and one of the prayers she offered was, she is saying to Krishna, my dear Krishna, Vipada Santuta Shashvat Tatra Chatra Jagat Guru Bhavato Darshanam Yad Syat Apunar Bhava Darshanam Vipadata Vipada Santuta Shashvat. She said, my dear Krishna, please bless me that let there be calamities in my life. Have you ever heard anybody praying for calamity? But actually, we see mother of Pandavas, Kunti, prayed to God for calamities. And she also said why she is praying for that. She said, my dear Krishna, in my life I have observed whenever there was some calamity, you always came. Whenever there was calamity, we remembered you, and whenever we remembered you, you were always there. So he said, now you see, now all calamities are gone. My son has become emperor of whole world, and now you are living. When there are difficulties, you are always there with us. And now all difficulties are gone, so you are leaving us. So I can't tolerate separation from you. So if it takes calamities for us to remember you and for you to be here, then let there be calamities. Hmm? She says, I wish that all those calamities would happen again and again so that we could see you again and again. For seeing you means that we will no longer see repeated births and deaths. Hmm. So real calamity will be uh, will be taken care of if we are able to see you. So she said, no problem if there are calamities. So if you remember God, we become free from cycle of birth and death and go back home to the kingdom of God. Hmm. And if you forget God, hmm, hmm, therefore is a real misfortune. Because if you forget God, it entangles us in this material world in repeated cycle of birth and death. We see in Srimad Bhagavatam and many other scriptures, there are many characters who transform apparently misfortune into real fortune. Like whatever examples we gave, we can see there are many stories of personalities who had that situation in their life, but they transform that situation into great fortune. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a story of Avanti Brahmana who lost all his wealth. He became bankrupt. And because he became bankrupt, his family also left him. So he became a beggar. But then, when he was alone, he became beggar, there was no shelter, he turned to God. He remembered God because in childhood he was a devotee of God. But later on, when he became rich, ordinary wealth, but he was able to achieve kingdom of God, where every dust particle is chintamani, desire fulfilling. So Krishna explains story of Avanti Bharamta Uddhava, how a person who lost wealth can also achieve all success if he turns towards God. We see mm, another story, Maharaj Chitraketu. He lost his only son. To lose his only son is a great calamity. But then, when he lost his son, he was in so much misery. That time, Narad Muni and Angira Muni came. And by their association, he got trans knowledge, and then he was inspired to take shelter of Lord, chant the holy names of Lord. And then he chanted the holy names of Lord, and he had darshan of Lord. He became self-realized, and later on he got. Earlier he was a king only of earth. Later on he became king of even higher planets. So apparently he lost the son, but then later on he had uh, uh, darshan of Lord, and he perfected his life. Similarly, another story comes in Srimad Bhagavatam where Pururava, he lost his heavenly wife, Urvashi. And he lost his wife. He was emperor of world, whole world. But when he lost his wife, Urvashi left him, he was so miserable. He couldn't do anything. He practically became mad. But then afterwards, he developed some detachment and again he turned towards God, worship God. Again, he became self realized and went back to the kingdom of God. Therefore, he is very much glorified in Bhagavatam. Digvijay Pandit was a world champion. He came to Navadip and he was defeated by Nimai Pandit. And when he was defeated, he felt so humiliated. But later on, he took shelter of Lord and then he became great devotee. And then, achieved perfection. Similarly, we see Bhagavatam, the story of Prahlad Maharaj, who had so many life threats. But in all situations, he always remembered God. So much so that when finally Hiranyakashipu tried to mm, kill him, then Narsimadev appeared and killed Hiranyakashipu and protected Prahlad Maharaj. Mm. Similarly, we see there is story of Narada boy. When he was 5 years old, he lost his mother and he was all alone. He had no relatives, no father, nothing. And then he just took shelter of God. He just started chanting the holy names of Lord and he had darshan of Lord. And later on, he became a great sage, Narada Muni. Hmm. Similarly, we see another example, Draupadi, who was attempted to be stripped naked. She was, and that time, she just prayed to God. When she realized nobody is able to help her, she just prayed to God, and Krishna appeared in form of sari, unlimited sari, and protected her. Similarly, we see Kunti Maharani and Pandavas. Whenever they were in difficulty, they remembered God, and Krishna was always there mm, to help mm, Pandavas. So we see that, mm, yes, there are situations in life, situation may not be in our control. What happens to us may not be in control, but we have choice. Either choice is to criticize others, blame others, mm, become depressed, become miserable, take shelter of drugs or intoxication or other things. Or we have choice to take shelter of God. If you take shelter of God, accept the situations what have happened as God's mercy and see what we can learn in that situation, grow in that situation, then situation can be transformed. Mm. Whereas sometimes, apparently, there may be some good fortune we may have. We have a great wealth, we may have good name, fame, glory, we may have everything wonderful going in our life. But sometimes there may be dangerous effects of that also. So we see Kunti Maharani tells, Janmaishware Shruta Shibhir Edamana Madapuman Naivarti Abhidhatum Vai Tvam Akinchana Gochara. He said, my dear Lord, uh, everybody is looking for Janma Aishwarya Shrutashi. Janma means high birth. Aishwarya means a lot of opulence. Shruta means great learning. Shri means great beauty. So people are hankering for these things. But I consider this as misfortune. Why? Because she says that when one has all these material opulences, generally people become puffed up, they become proud. When they become proud, they disrespect others, look down upon others. Sometimes people become intoxicated by power. Mm. They then lose good behavior, good character. And ultimately sometimes when there is a lot of opulence, one may feel what is need of God, one may forget God, or one may think I am only God, So, Kunti Maharani says actually sometimes having a lot of opulence may be misfortune, and sometimes not having opulence may be fortune, because when we don't have, we may turn to God and we may receive grace of God. So, God's grace come in many ways. Sometimes mercy of God may, it is said, mercy of God may come from front. Mercy of God, mercy from front means we get what we want in life. We are desiring something. We are desiring good job, we get good job. We are desiring good spouse, we get good spouse. We are desiring some prestige in society, some awards, recognition, we get that. So this is mercy from front. We get what we are expecting, desiring. Mm. Another thing is mercy from side. Mercy from side means we are not expecting something, but we get beyond our expectation. Hmm. Imagine we have given exam and we are thinking whether will pass or fail. Maybe mostly we are thinking we'll fail only, and results come and we become topper. We get results beyond our expect. We are thinking of whether I'll get job or not, and then we get a very best job, big package. Mm. That is, we get something beyond our expectation. That is called as mercy from side. Mercy from front means we get what we are expecting, what we are wanting. Mercy from side means we are getting beyond our expectation. We don't expect, then all of a sudden, some God's mercy, God's arrangement, something wonderful may happen. Mm. And then there is mercy from behind. Mercy from behind means uh, we are expecting something, we get exactly opposite of it. We are expecting to be topper in the class and then we fail in exam. uh, we are expecting promotion in job and we are fired from the job. Or sometimes we get challenges in life, uh, which may help us to grow. Sometimes we may get setbacks to pause and think. So this is mercy from behind. Actually, whatever happens in one's life, we should know it cannot happen unless it is sanctioned by God. Not even a blade of grass can move unless it is sanctioned by God. So Bhagavad Krishna explains, भोक्ताराम यज्ञ तपसा सर्वलोकमय सुहृदम सर्वभूतानाम ज्ञात्वा माम शांति मुच्यते. Suhridam sarvabhutanam. He says that I am friend of, heart to heart friend of everyone. So God is heart to heart friend of everyone. So He always desires our good. And He is the supreme controller. Nothing happens without His sanction. And God never commits mistakes. Someday we may commit mistake, but God never commits mistake. So we see that nothing happens without God's sanction. If something is happening in our life, means it is sanctioned by God. Second, God never commits mistakes. And third, God is our best well wisher, His heart to heart friend. So if something happens in our life which we are not expecting, we should know, though I'm not able to understand it, how it is good for me, but it is, we should know it is good for me because it is sanctioned by God. Because God never commits mistake. And because God is our heart to heart friend. So I want everybody to little bit think of some misfortune you had experienced in the past. You just note down for yourself. Okay? You can just write down some misfortune you had some experience in your past. Okay? You write down. You were very disturbed. You are in great anxiety. Something happened. You are very upset. Why did it happen? So some misfortune in the past, mm, uh, which had happened, you just remember of that. Okay. And if you are able to remember, raise hands. Okay. Remember some misfortune that happened in your life in past, maybe 1 year back, 2 year back, 5 year back, 10 year back, 20 year back, whatever time. If you are able to remember something, raise hands. Okay. I will not ask to share. It's up to you only. I just want you to think about something. Okay. Raise hands. If you're able to remember some misfortune that happened in your life, raise hands. Fine. Thank you. So now you remember that misfortune and you just think, uh, were there any positive outcomes of that situation? And think of some positive outcomes that came upon due to those things, due to that situation, and note it down. Okay. Maybe 5 years back, 10 years back, you consider that was misfortune. But now, if you reflect, check whether was there any positive outcome that came out of that situation. And if you are able to remember any positive outcome out of that situation, note it down. Okay. How many of you understood the exercise? Okay. So please think and do it. Okay. And when you're done, raise hands so I know that you have done it. Okay, others take one more minute. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So all of you can stand up now. All of you can stand up. Everybody can stand up. Okay. Okay. So you just find one partner, and after you finding one partner, you sit down. Just find one partner and then sit down. Okay. And sit down in such a way that you face each other. So I know who is your partner. Okay. When you find one partner, you sit down. Okay. Okay. Hare Krishna. Here, here. Those who don't have partner, stand up. Okay. Those who don't have partner, stand up. Okay. Those who don't have partner, stand up. So now you have these choices. You can just get one partner and sit down. Okay. Okay. Those who have no partner, stand up. Okay. So that those who don't have partner, stand up. Okay. Everybody has got a partner. Okay, now you just turn towards partner and share with the partner what misfortune you had in the past, and now you reflect what positive outcome happened. You share with the partner. Both of you can share your each other's story. Okay, okay. Hare Krishna. Feel. You can turn towards devotees. Okay, make sure that other partner speaks. Make sure other partner speaks. Hare Krishna. Make sure other partner speaks. Okay, please wind up in another half a minute. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So thank you very much. How many of you are able to share with the partner? Okay, thank you. So somebody would like to share with the whole class. You don't have to share what misfortune you went through, but you can share what positive outcome came out of that. So if somebody would like to share, uh, uh, you can tell your name, what you are doing, and just share. Yes, yes, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. My name is Adoksh. I think the thing that I learned out of it was resilience.
Hmm? Resilience.
Resilience.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you learned and you grew in life. Hmm? Hmm.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes. Anybody else here? Yes. What were some of the positive outcomes that came out of that?
Hare Krishna, my name is Shagun, and my positive outcome was I read Bhagavad Gita,
Oh,
and I just I feel I met God. I can say that I know Him. I know He's there all the time with me, guiding me through everything in life.
okay. So you went through some misfortune apparently, but that helped
Yeah,
you to turn towards God. You read
yeah,
Bhagavad Gita, and now you feel presence of God in your life.
yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Anybody else? One more. Yes.
Krishna came into my life because of that.
Yes. You can tell your name, what you are doing, and then positive outcome.
So my name is Pujav and Pujav.
Pujava. Pujava. Yes.
The misfortune was okay.
What you are doing currently now?
I'm currently studying health administration.
Okay.
Um, now can I say the word?
Yes. Now you can tell what were
Okay.
positive outcome of your.
So the misfortune was I was appearing in the exam for dentistry. I worked hard for like 6 or 7 months for that before appearing. Unfortunately, I couldn't crack it. But after realized that I made some mistakes and everything, certain incidents happened, and due to which I attracted more towards Krishna. So I believe that the misfortune was the cause that Krishna came into my life.
Yes. So sometimes we think something is unfortunate, but later on we can see when we reflect back after some time, we say, "Oh, it was not unfortunate. It was very nice. This thing happened. Maybe God had a better plan. I had one plan, but God had a better plan in my life." So sometimes we think something as misfortune, but actually may not be misfortune. We are just thinking it as a misfortune because we are thinking our plans didn't work. But maybe our plans are not the best plans, and God has better plan in our life. Hmm? So, so when something so-called misfortune happen, we can be grateful to God also, because sometimes when things don't happen as per our wish, then sometimes we become a little humble. Mm. We become a little free from false ego. Sometimes we may have falsely taken shelter of different things. We lose faith in that false shelter. Mm. Sometimes it helps us to go deeper in life. Mm. We may become more mature and more realize. Sometimes those situations help us to take shelter of God. and we can also feelingly call of God, and we can develop relationship with God. So sometimes so-called misfortune may turn to be mm, actually very wonderful in life. Okay. So now we'll do second exercise. All of you can write down. Think of some current misfortune you may be facing now. Okay. Mm. And what lesson can you learn? Sometimes Krishna may arrange something in our life, mm, to teach us something so that we can grow in life. So if some situations there, difficult situations there, apparently we are disturbed about this, but we can just think, is there anything, because this situation is arranged by God, this situation is sanctioned by God. God doesn't commit mistakes. And God is my best friend. The fact that He has arranged that situation, maybe there is some reason. Maybe He's trying to teach me something. Is there something God is trying to teach me in this situation? Mm, mm, Is there any lesson I can learn from this current so called misfortune? So just note down. Okay? Think of some difficult time or situation or some you're feeling right now, and think if is there God trying to teach you some lesson now. Okay? Please think and note it down. And when you're done, you raise hand so I know you're done. Great. All of you are amazing. Others can take one more minute to think. Think of some current misfortune you may be facing now. And what lesson can you learn? Is God trying to teach you something? Okay? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Just turn towards partner and share. Okay? Just turn towards the partner and share. Okay? Make sure your other partner speaks. Make sure your other partner speaks. Hare Krishna. Make sure your other partner speaks. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So thank you very much for participating in this exercise. Anybody would like to share with the whole class? Anybody would like to share? Yes, you can tell your name and yes, what lesson can you learn?
I think the main lesson we can learn is
I can learn.
patience. I can learn is patience and having strength
Okay.
and
Krishna is
believing
trying to
in
teach
God.
me patience.
Yeah,
Krishna is trying to teach me patience. What else?
and believing in God.
I need to. Krishna is wanting me to believe in Him. Yes.
Yeah.
So, what prayer would like to offer to God in this
Um.
situation?
I would just ask to give me more strength and
Yes,
patience. And
we can pray to God. Oh, my dear Krishna, you are all. You are my best well wisher. Please give me patience. I lack patience. Oh, Krishna, please bless me with faith so that I can depend on you. Okay. Thank you very much.
yeah.
Haribol.
Thank you.
Yes. Anyone more? Yes.
Hare Krishna
You can tell
Prabhu.
your name and then.
My name is Sandesh.
Sandesh.
My name is Sandesh, and I think the current misfortune I might be facing is I lost my job. So I used to work as a server in an Indian restaurant where I used to touch meat and everything. So I always used to pray to Krishna, like find some alternatives and all these things. And now I lose my job. So my the lesson I've learned is maybe this is Krishna's plan. So he made me quit my job, and then maybe he's making some plans for me to so that I can stay in temple. So
Okay.
that ends at 9, so that I can come and stay in temple.
Okay.
So
So Krishna is trying to teach us lesson. We should not do some sinful job. It can be more entangling. So better do some job which doesn't involve some sin. So we can be more, and also we can get association of devotees come to temple. Okay, wonderful.
thank you.
What prayer you would like to offer to God?
So
In
find me
this,
the job that doesn't allow me to touch any like mates and doesn't come like make
yeah,
myself commit sinful activities. And
wonderful. Haribol.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. So we have a few minutes now, and 5 minutes darshan will open. So now I want all of you to think of some repeated problem that you face in life. Generally, all of us face some problem, and sometimes some problems are repeated. We don't face newer and newer problem. Sometimes some problem come. Suppose if you have a relationship problem, sometimes we may have a relationship of one person. After a few years, we see we have another problem. After a few years, we see again same problem keep on repeating. Hmm? So we see in life actually sometimes Krishna arranges challenges so that we can learn certain things. But if we don't learn the lesson, then again that challenge come, and again we fail. Again same challenge come, again we fail. So that challenge keeps on coming again and again. For example, somebody is in class fifth and he gets some mathematics problem and he doesn't know how to solve, he fails. Then again he has to repeat the same class, again he has to learn how to solve the problem. Again exam comes, again he fails. If he doesn't learn, again he fails. Then again he has to again be in same class, again he has to learn. And if he doesn't learn and again exam comes, again he fails, again he has to repeat. As long as we don't understand, learn, and pass the exam, we won't be promoted to next standard, isn't it? We are asked to repeat again and again. Similarly, life also, Krishna put some situation in life so that he can test us. So in test we fail. That means we have not learned the lesson which Krishna is trying to teach us. So he may put us again in situation. Suppose so if some problems are coming repeated in life, that means maybe Krishna is trying to teach some lesson to us, but we are not learning that lesson. Therefore, that problem is coming again and again. So think of some repeated problem that you face and think, what is Krishna trying to teach you? What lesson you need to learn? Hmm, hmm. Okay. So all of you can think of at least one problem that keeps on repeating in your life periodically. Okay? And when you thought of something, raise hands. Okay? So I know that you thought about it. Correct. Okay. So if you thought of the problem, then you think, what is Krishna trying to teach you? What lesson you need to learn which you are not learning? Think of what lesson you need to learn which you are not learning. When you are able to mm, answer this question, raise hand. Then you know when you are getting the answer to this question, raise hand. So you know, I know that you have thought about it. Okay. Okay. What is Krishna trying to teach you? What lesson you need to learn? When you have understood it, raise hand. So others need some more time. I will give you 1 more minute to think. Okay. Think honestly. If you are not able to understand what Krishna is trying to teach, pray to Krishna. Or maybe after the class, you can meet some devotee and ask. He may be able to tell you. Okay. Okay. So thank you very much. So now you turn to the partner and share with the partner. Okay. Turn to the partner and share. Hey, Hare Krishna. Here there are three. You can maybe two of you can join here, so that there is. Okay. Okay. Make sure that other partner speaks. Make sure other partner speaks. जय श्री श्री राधा गोविंद देव भगवान की जय, श्री श्री निताय गौरांग की जय, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुमैया की जय, श्री Prabhupada की जय. In 5 minutes we'll conclude. We just complete the exercise and then we'll have the kirtans. Okay. 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So anybody would like to share what lesson you need to learn? What is Krishna trying to teach you? What lesson you need to learn? Anybody would like to just share with the class? Hmm? Yes, Arshab. Arshab. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So I feel that Krishna is trying to teach me that I need to be more and more focused in what I am doing and not get distracted from my path.
Okay. So what prayer would you like to offer to Radha Govind?
So I would offer my I would like to offer my prayers to Radha Govinda that please give me determination to stay focused, determination um, uh, to basically
Pursue the path and not
perceive
get
the path and not
not
deviate from the goal.
Remo. So Radha is hearing your prayer. He will fulfill your prayer. Okay. Anybody else? Yes. behind. Mike behind. So this is nice, wonderful opportunity to offer prayer to Radha Govinda. Huh? Yes.
My name is Archita. I think me and my partner, we had the same kind of problem. Um, Procrastination, aiming at perfection, and trying to control things and wanting to please people.
Yeah.
Uh, the lesson I need to learn is to let go of the situation and just do my best and not expect any results. And the prayer I could offer to Krishna is Krishna, grant me peace to accept the things I cannot change, give me courage to change the things I can, and give me wisdom to know the difference between what I can change and what I cannot. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. Haribo. Yeah, thank you very much. So everybody can make an offering of their prayers, whatever they want to pray to Radha when he's there. Okay. So we see one just half a minute and then we see in life of all great souls, they have so many challenges, but because they have taken shelter of God, they have emerged victorious. If you see the life of Srila Prabhupada, in Prabhupada's life there were so many challenges. He had a business and then business collapsed, he had financial problem. He later on had some real problems in family life. Uh, and then he was trying to preach India, but so many problems. 43 years he struggled, but there was no success. But he never gave up. And then he came to America. When he was coming to America, he had so many health issues. But he always depended on Krishna, always prayed to Krishna. And then finally, he was able to establish ISKCON in 1966 at the age of 70. And then he spread this message of Bhagavad all over the world in 12 years. And he established 108 temples. So he never gave up. He always, whatever challenge came, he depended on Krishna. And whatever misfortune came in life, he never blamed them. Rather, he always learned from there, grew from there, and always uh, took shelter of Krishna and depended on Krishna. So, how to transform misfortune to real fortune? Hmm. Art of transform misfortune to real fortune. We accept whatever is happening in our life as God's mercy. Accept everything as God's, because God is very kind and merciful, and nothing happens without God's sanction, and God doesn't commit any mistakes. Don't blame or criticize anyone. Hmm. Take responsibility for life. Hmm. Learn good lessons. Think what is Krishna trying to teach, and learn good lessons and grow in life. And if possible, express gratitude to God. Oh, Krishna, thank you for bringing such misfortune in my life. Now I am able to turn to you, depend on you, take shelter of you. Wonderful. Thank you for bringing this misfortune, because now I am able to understand my shortcomings. I am able to reflect. Now I am having chance to grow in my life. Thank you. So one can express gratitude to God. Mm. And especially one can take shelter of God by hearing, chanting, and remembering and serving God. And especially by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So thank you very much. Shri Shri Radha Govinda ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So now we'll have kirtans, and some transcendental announcements.